Hey, folks. So, doing a little comparison of Gold's Gym versus Planet Fitness. Now, I had about 7 years time at Gold's Gym, and just recently, we'll say 3 years or more, maybe 4 years at Planet Fitness. Also, work out at another gym, but I wanted to do a comparison of these in case you were considering between the two. So, a little agenda here. We're going to talk price, weights, cardio, where will you build a better physique at, customers, DEI, and then my summary. All right, price. Which one costs more? So, Gold's Gym is way more expensive. I'm not necessarily priced it out recently, but where you were getting Planet Fitness for $10, Gold's Gym is, usually $40 and up. Now, if that matters to you, well, obviously it does for a lot of people. That might be a deciding factor there between the two. Which one's better value for the money? Personally, it depends on what your goals are. But my opinion, Gold's Gym will always be worth the money that I spent on it when I was in peak performance, peak physique, all that good stuff, right? It's just that much better to get you where you want to be. That said, Planet Fitness, $10. If you are not going to put the time in consistently, $10 is probably the way to go. The only way to build a better body is to stay consistent with your workouts. So spending that $10, if you're not going to be consistent, is probably a lot better for you, because you know what? Planet Fitness is relying on a lot of people to come there that are, going to work out a little bit and then not come back for a while, work out a little bit. And, that's how they keep that cost down. They have so many members, yet those members are not consistently working out. So that said, the gym never really gets too ridiculously crowded. Weights. Who has the better selection? Now, I also threw in here free weights versus machines for building muscle. So you will find at every Planet Fitness, at least that I've been to, and I have the black card or whatever, so I can travel. When I travel, I can go to PF. Something we didn't talk about in the slide before this, but every one of those I've been in has had up to 75-pound dumbbells, has had no real free weights. When I say free weights, I'm not talking Smith machines or leg presses, right? So you cannot do barbell squats, barbell bench press. You can do Smith machine bench presses. And in the long run, for those that really want to bulk up, free weights are the way to go if you want to get really big, okay? Assuming your genetics and the calories that you're taking in and supplements will allow you to get there. Not everybody can look like C-Bum. Not everybody can look like me, for that matter. Machines, you can get stronger off machines, but there's a limitation to how strong you will get off those. Now, there's things in between machines and free weights. Like I mentioned, Smith machine. There's also the hammer strength plate loaded, not the selectorized plate, but the plate loaded ones. You can build some muscle off of those machines for sure. But getting back to it, when you walk into Planet Fitness, it's either going to be Life Fitness and hammer strength, or Matrix, or some combination of those two. I don't think I've ever seen really any other brands in there besides those two, except for some of the odder machines that Life Fitness and Matrix don't make. But overall, the equipment at most Planet Fitnesses is actually pretty good. They've come a long way from the first one that I worked out that actually had free weights, but had a mixture of cheaper equipment. So I got to give Gold's basically, a big thumbs up on this. Planet Fitness, you can take your your image of the thumb up and turn it down, because Gold's Gym, and every Gold's Gym I've ever been to, has had a much better selection. Cardio, who has a better selection here? Well, if all you give a shit is treadmill, bike, elliptical, these are going to be pretty well matched up. But if you want the higher end stuff, you may find it at a Gold's Gym. You may have to go to an even nicer gym than Gold's, but overall, Gold's Gym is going to have the better selection. A lot of times they have newer equipment. Some of the older Gold's Gyms, that are hardcore bodybuilding, they may keep a lot of their old stuff because it's, a lot of that stuff's been proven to build muscle. Now, who takes care of their equipment better? This kind of depends. Gold's Gym franchise. There are some Golds out there that, the equipment doesn't look the best. Maybe they leave their doors open. Maybe they're by the beach, whatever it may be. Planet Fitness, there's times I've walked into certain Planet Fitnesses and there's 5 out of 10 treadmills are down. But I think overall Gold's Gym usually does a better job of taking care of their equipment. Some of the stuff that's really not, very common equipment, if that breaks down, that's going to take a lot longer to fix usually. But overall, I would say I think Gold's Gym has higher end models of cardio equipment, has better selection, may even have a cardio theater, which can be much more enjoyable to just sit there and watch a really good movie on a big screen with surround sound for 2 hours, and you're like, oh wow, I just worked 2 hours worth of cardio, or burned fat for 2 hours. So you got to give it to Gold's here. Where will you build a better physique at? All right, so when I looked my best, where was I working out at? It was Gold's Gym. Now, people ask me a lot of time, oh, what's the most you bench, or how much can you bench now? It'll never be more than when I was training at Gold's and had all of that equipment at my disposal to make me stronger, to motivate me, and make me want to compete against fellow people. Now, there's pretty much not a day that goes by that I'm not the strongest guy working out at Planet Fitness. Occasionally there might be somebody that can do something that I can't do, like, maybe they can do more in the military press. But most of the time, I'm the strongest guy there that can do that can do any of the back exercises, that can do any curling exercise, bench press, whatever, right? So going to Gold's, if I'm in the top 10%, when I'm in there, count that as a lucky day for me these days. Now, back when I was 34, that's another story. I would walk in there and a lot of times be the strongest person in there, but not always. So another thing here, not that I ever indulged in this, but non-legal supplements, roids, things like that, they're going to be easier to find at Gold's than they are Planet Fitness. Rarely are you going to walk into Planet Fitness and go, God, I think that guy's on steroids. Gold's, it's another story, right? Depending on which one you're at. If you're out in California, some of the big well-known ones, then there's a good chance that, those things are making their way around. And if that's something that floats your boat and you're interested, that might be a decision, to factor into to work out there versus Planet Fitness. Customers. All right, so Planet Fitness seems to be much more diverse. You've got, people that are in high school working out there. You've got people that are in their, late 70s, 80s, whatever. Not that won't see these people at Gold's, but this is more of a basic, people that have just started working out. People that a lot of them have no coordination. A lot of them, it's going to take some time. A lot of them should get a trainer and learn how to do the exercises correctly. That's what I always saw as a problem at Planet Fitness. I don't see that as much at Gold's. people that walk into Golds a lot of times are people that have more experience with working out. They may even have a little bit more money to spend. Planet Fitness, due to that, that low $10 thing, you may find that they are, lower income, mixed in there with middle income people. Not too many people, I think, that have a lot of money would actually work out at a Planet Fitness. Not to say that occasionally you don't see some expensive BMWs or big old SUVs that, obviously those people have, some money. Golds, more likely, I think, to see some of those people that have the nicer cars, that have a little bit more money and are willing to spend it. But, the other thing, when we say diverse, so, you're more likely, I think, to see people proudly flaunting, their different beliefs on life and sexuality and all that good stuff at a Planet Fitness versus Gold's Gym. Now, as I said, Planet Fitness there at the bottom, a lot of people just don't know how to work out, and that can include the staff, right? A lot of times you see a Gold's Gym staff member, they're usually in decent shape. They may even be a trainer. And then you go to a Planet Fitness and you're like, okay, these people behind the desk, they obviously do not use the equipment. DEI stuff. All right. So, if this is something you need that you care about, go to Planet Fitness. Supposed judgment-free zone, right? If you talk to people or, yours truly, I'm out there, in my mind talking shit about people. So, yeah, it is what it is. It might say it on a wall, but it doesn't mean people actively participate in that. I think Planet Fitness, honestly, is better for the CNN viewer versus a Fox News viewer. You may find, Gold's maybe a 50-50 thing, but I think Planet Fitness is really more for those CNN viewers. Gold's, I think, is a place you're more likely to have that locker room talk. If that's something you enjoy, then hey, whatever floats your boat. Personally, I'm at the gym to work out. I don't need a lecture from anybody on, how I need to treat other people. That's not what my focus is. My focus is building those muscles. So, to summarize this, you're not going to be consistent working out. Planet Fitness is definitely your best bet. Gold's is better for intermediate to advanced. And in my opinion, Planet Fitness is where the strong go to die or get weak. If you're hardcore, never leave Gold's for Planet Fitness. If you're just starting out and you don't think you're going to consistently get into working out, go to Planet Fitness. Either one of these places, you can make friends. So if that's an important thing, even though it's harder to do these days, I think, because everybody has their headphones on. So, people try and talk to me and I'm like, oh, I got to take my headphones off. And so that is kind of, the way society has gone. Plus with COVID, you don't really want to talk to anybody. But I think in either one of these places, you can probably, find people to talk to if that's, friendship is something you're looking for. And then, of course, at a place like Gold's, you're more likely to have to ask people to spot you because you're doing free weights. Where at something like Planet Fitness, I can't think of too many exercises there where you actually need somebody to spot you because Smith machines have built-in stops. And usually you can rack the weight before you get hurt. Thanks for checking out my video, folks. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.